My dear friends, what if the biggest mistake of your life is one you are making right now, today, without even knowing it? Life doesn't always break us with dramatic disasters. Quietly hollows us out through small daily neglects. We never see it happening. One day we are young, burning with dreams, swearing to ourselves that we will build something beautiful, not just something successful. We imagine laughter echoing through our homes, long dinners with family, children running free, parents watching with proud, tearful eyes. But somewhere along the way, the dream silently shifts without our permission. We trade life for lifestyle, and then the race begins. We rise early, sprint to work, chase deadlines, build careers, earn money, hit targets, repeating to ourselves every single day, I am doing all this for my family. But have you ever stopped and honestly asked your family, is this truly what they want from you? Because sometimes what we believe we are giving them is not what they are actually aching for. I remember a story of a father who worked relentlessly his entire life. He was a decent man, responsible, disciplined, devoted. He never complained, never cut corners, never rested. He believed that love means sacrifice. And for him, sacrifice meant surrendering his hours to work so his family could live comfortably. Years passed. His children grew up, but not with him. They grew up around him, but not with him. There is a difference. There is a difference. One day after crossing 60, he finally chose to slow down. He thought, now it is time. Now it is time. Now I will sit beside my family. Now I will taste life. Now I will nurture those bonds I kept postponing. So one evening, he settled into the living room and waited. His son was lost in his phone. His daughter was absorbed in her own world. His wife had long grown accustomed to managing alone. Nobody ignored him deliberately, but nobody needed him. And in that crushing silence, something inside him shattered because he understood he had spent his entire life being available to work and completely unavailable to love. My dear friends, that pain cuts very deep. But that pain cuts very deep. It is not the pain of failure. It is the pain of awakening. The awakening that you poured your finest years into something, but perhaps not into what truly mattered, but perhaps not into what truly mattered. You see, when children are small, they don't need your perfection. They need your presence. They don't care how grand your house is. They don't care how grand your house is. They care whether you get down on the floor and play beside them. They don't remember how costly their toys were, but they remember whether you laughed alongside them or were always too consumed. And the most heartbreaking part, they eventually stop asking. They stop asking. First, a child says, Papa, play with me. Then he says, Papa, are you busy? And then one day he simply stops asking because he already knows the answer. That silence is not growing up. That silence is growing apart, and distance never arrives suddenly. It builds slowly, quietly, invisibly. We convince ourselves we are earning for our family, but sometimes we are quietly losing them along the way, and then a season arrives after 60 when everything decelerates. The meetings thin out, the calls come less often, the significance we once carried in our workplace starts dissolving. The very office that once claimed it could not survive without us learns to move forward, and we are left holding time. Time we always insisted we never had. But now that we finally possess it, we have nowhere to take it. Because the doors we neglected don't swing open the same way anymore. Your family still loves you, but they have mastered living without you. And that is the true cost. Not money, not achievements, but emotional separation. I once encountered a man who shared something profoundly powerful. He said, I believed I was constructing a future for my family, but I forgot to build memories alongside them. And what is a life stripped of memories? A house without memories is merely a structure. A relationship without time is merely a title. And a life without genuine connection is merely existence. My dear friends, working past 60 is not the problem. But drowning in work is, if you are working because passion drives you, because purpose fuels you, because contribution fulfills you, that is beautiful. Beautiful. But if you are working because sitting with your own family makes you uneasy, if silence at home unsettles you, if you feel more valued behind your desk than inside your own living room, then it is not work. It is escape. And escape carries consequences because relationships are like plants. Water them consistently and they flourish. Ignore them and they don't collapse immediately. They wither from the inside slowly. And one day when you finally turn toward them, it may already be too late. Life teaches its lessons in a peculiar, When we are young, we hold time and energy but lack wisdom. As we mature, we carry money and wisdom but surrender time. And eventually, we reclaim time and wisdom but sometimes find nobody left to share it with. So, what is the answer? The answer is balance, not extreme sacrifice. Not extreme sacrifice. Not extreme attachment, but intentional living. Stay present while you are earning. Stay reachable while you are growing. Stay connected while you are achieving. Because accomplishment without relationships is hollow, and relationships without attention are fragile. At the end of your journey, nobody standing beside you will say he was very busy. They will say he was there for us or he was not. And that single truth will define everything. So today, I invite you to pause. Not tomorrow, not after retirement. Today, call your parents, sit beside your spouse, truly hear your children. Not as an obligation, but as your greatest priority. Because one day your phone will fall silent, your inbox will empty, your calendar will clear. And in that stillness, the only thing that will carry weight is whether your home holds love or holds regret. So work hard, my dear friends.